Okay, so in this we're going to look at the functional role of Ionian in the traditional functional way with formula-based, goal-oriented themes and whatnot. This is still a very valid technique, and I think for a while people started to drift from the Ionian and the major scale and traditional techniques because of the epic movement where it was just constant banging on drums and repeating the same lines. It just wasn't epic enough for them. But the Ionian scale is very majestic and oftentimes can produce a very noble sound. So what do I mean by goal-oriented? Well, sequences that drive you towards that 5 chord to 1 chord in Ionian. They just sound very natural, like one flows into the other. Stuff like secondary dominants have the same pull effect. Okay, now less goal-oriented would be something like, I'll just make something up on the spot here. In my honest opinion, people who are going to get into film scoring should learn both methods, functional and less goal-oriented. The way I'm approaching the chords is less goal-oriented. So this is less goal-oriented. I'm going to go ahead and play the sequence we're going to work with. So. Stop the sequence here. So you notice it has a very noble kind of majestic sound, quite triumphant, we did it kind of feel. And you're not going to, and I'd actually rather use this than Lydian for feels like that, where it's just very triumphant, very like, yes, whereas Lydian may be over the top excited. It might be time to jump to your functional harmony, and this entire thing is literally textbook functional here. We have the half cadence, the perfect cadence. Let me play it really slow. A simplified version. I don't want to play the piano half cadence. A little bit of delay. Secondary dominant. All these chords here are now very goal driven, leading up to this perfect cadence. We got literally a formula you learn in music and traditional functional music theory that we're using. So the first half is just an alternation between 1, 4, and 1 and 5, just with inversions, so you have a walking bass line. And then a half cadence leading up to a half cadence. That way you can continue on with your sequence. And then the second time we have a 1, a secondary dominant 5 of 6, 2, 5. That entire sequence right there is totally goal driven by 4th and 5th bass movement. Up a 4th. So I'll show you. Up a 4th. So that entire sequence is very goal driven, with the movement up a 4th, up a 4th, up a 4th after the secondary dominant. So or down a fifth, down a fifth, down a fifth, same thing, inverted. That pattern is a very goal-driven, oriented Ionian style move to lead you to the 5 chord and then the 1 chord. And so this has a very noble, kind of majestic sound, and it's a very simple formula. So that you could learn, anybody could learn this formula, half cadence, full cadence. So how else can we present this? That's what we're going to move on to. Since we got our idea down, let's say you could present it later. The first thing I thought of was with more energy. Almost like a triumphant kind of thing. Maybe shift away. This would be a great way to end something that's used this melody. Maybe highly energetic pedal point, calming it down even more. Same progression, except I'm holding that B flat. You could do that. Okay. If we hold the pedal point, now the functional harmony again, this is a very common move to create a build-up is hold the pedal point on the dominant note. Like this. Playing the same harmony, but with that pedal point. And then I shift it out again intentionally. So that's a good way to create a build-up is pedal pointing on the dominant with functional harmony. Here's something else we could do. Just a little chain that hints at the melody. Kind of a circle of fifth. And then changing the mood. Kind of using the same kind of motif aspects of that melody, but in minor. We could do something like this. Concentrating on just kind of the sus aspects of it and shifting it around in chromatic medians. That's how I was shifting it. So let's concentrate on that aspect. Maybe you could do something like that. Use it as just a small segment of it. Let's do common chromatic medium even. So just giving little hints at that one particular part in middle of minor keys. So little hints, just teasing him with it. You could do this. You could play the same exact chord sequence but holding the Locrian tonal center. And now it's suddenly uneasy. That's another way you could present it. Okay, just and use it for something easy, but just restating your theme. That was the Locrian of A, but I used all the same chords that would be in the sequence, but with Locrian pedal. Let's use that again, that aspect of it, and we'll do something like this. Almost like we're kind of an ending. Highly energetic ending that's using the same stuff from this. So again, I'm trying to give you more ideas on how to use the same thematic material in multiple instances. And so what I'll do is I'll resize this, and this don't forget that traditional functional harmony and this major scale Ionian, whatever you want to call it. I'm not really big on names. Even formulas with this, the typical half cadence formula followed by the full cadence and methodically working up to your 5 chord is a very legit way to get a very noble and majestic sound, and maybe a better alternative than modes.